What if events went differently and Andy didn't open up a Buzz Lightyear on his birthday, but instead found Sonic the Hedgehog inside the box? Welcome back, my fellow watchers of the multiverse. My name is Max Charlebois, aka MissedThePart, and today's speed-fueled crossover was requested by E.M, who joined us in the live chat and dropped this absolute banger of an idea, so huge shout out for giving Andy's toy box a whole new timeline. And this version of Toy Story, Sonic becomes the new favorite. But his presence throws the toys in hierarchy, the entire house into chaos. Woody feels threatened, the toys are terrified, and as Sonic tries to adjust to life as a toy, his instincts to escape and run free kick in, fast. This Toy Story like you've never seen before. Drop into our live streams to make your crossover dreams a multiverse reality, watchers. But that being said, let's dive into the brand new What If episode. Location, Andy's room. Early evening. The birthday party had ended. Balloons drifted lazily along the ceiling, their strings tangled like forgotten dreams. Wrapping. Paper lay crumpled in bright, exhausted heaps across the carpet. Plates with half-eaten cake and smudged frosting teetered on the edge of the dresser. Andy sat cross-legged by his bed, face glowing with excitement as he tore open his final gift. Inside the box, nestled in golden straw, was a blue figure with red shoes and a confident smirk frozen on its plastic face. Sonic the Hedgehog, but not like the ones from cartoons or commercials. This Sonic was sleeker. His fur seemed alive even though he didn't move. His shoes shimmered faintly, as if ready to race across unseen fields. Andy's fingers hesitated over the toy for a heartbeat, longer than usual, like he could feel something humming underneath the surface. Then he pressed a button on the ring-shaped tag tied to Sonic's wrist. The air in the room trembled. Dust motes caught in the late afternoon sunlight twisted unnaturally, spinning in place like tiny galaxies. A faint ripple shimmered across the room, and then, for a brief second, a portal opened. It was small, almost like a puddle of gold on the wall, but it was real. The toys watched from their usual hiding spots, Woody peeking out from under the bed, Bo Peep stiffly perched near the nightstand, Slinky peering from the toy box, Rex trembling behind a stack of blocks. Woody felt a chill travel down his spine. Something had just changed, and it wasn't finished. Location, toy shelf. Later that night, when the lights went out, the toys awoke. Slinky stretched his coils to peek over the dresser. Rex nervously bumped into him, tail twitching. So much he knocked over a stack of checkers. Mr. Potato Head huffed loudly, muttering under his breath as he reattached his left ear. Woody paced at the foot of the bed, boots clicking against the wood in anxious rhythm. His gaze never left the new arrival, still lying stiffly in its open box. Then, with a snap of static and a crackle of blue light, Sonic sat up. He stretched lazily, arms behind his head, then flashed a cocky grin. No fear, no hesitation, as if he had done this 1,000 times before. He spoke quickly, words tumbling over themselves. He wasn't from around here. He wasn't exactly a toy. Something about running, something about rings, and something about a man named Robotnik. Bo Peep leaned closer, her soft voice cutting through the confusion. Robotnik? Who's that? For the first time, Sonic's smirk slipped, just for a breath. Then he winked, and in a blink, he zipped across the shelf, scattering marbles and toy soldiers in his wake. Woody caught himself, reaching instinctively for his pull string, like a man bracing for a storm. He didn't smile. He tightened the knot under his chin. This wasn't going to be simple. Location: garden. Weeks later, Woody knew one thing. Sonic was fast. Too fast. Andy barely touched anyone else now. Woody watched from the crowded toy chest as Sonic zipped across the floor, collecting gold-painted bottle caps that Andy had carefully set up like makeshift rings, in and out of pillow forts, over race car tracks, under the bed, and back again. Sonic became a living blue blur that Andy could barely contain. Andy's laughter rang louder than it had in weeks. It filled the room bright and careless. But it wasn't the same laughter that used to follow Woody's cowboy adventures, or Slinky's leaps, or Bo Peep's shepherd rescues. Woody stayed hidden more often now, leaning into the shadows with Rex and Mr. Potato Head. He watched the way Andy's hands clutched Sonic tightly, how he carried him everywhere, even to dinner, even to bed. But that was nothing, the only thing that bothered Woody. There was something else. Something wrong. And it was starting to seep through the cracks. Woody could feel it in the way the toys whispered at night, in the strange static that sometimes made their parts tingle, in the odd flickers of light near the closet door. Change was coming, Dot, and not the good kind. Location: Andy's room. The first toy vanished during the night. RC, the remote-controlled car, gone without a trace. Slinky swore he heard a high-pitched whine near the closet, like metal scraping against metal. Rex said he thought he saw a flash of gold. Mr. Potato Head just crossed his arms and muttered about too many weirdos in this room lately. Woody climbed onto the dresser, boots scuffing against the wood, and stared at the golden ring. Sonic had left on the nightstand. It glowed faintly, not warmly, not like a nightlight, but like a warning. He turned sharply, heart hammering in his hollow chest, but Sonic was nowhere to be seen. Only the whisper of displaced air remained, stirring the edge of the curtains. Woody swallowed hard. Whatever Sonic had brought with him, it was already here, and it wasn't finished. Location: Andy's room. 2 nights later. Woody pulled Bo Peep under the bed. After Mr. Potato Head vanished next, they crouched together among dust bunnies and lost puzzle pieces, peering into the gloom. At first, there was only darkness. Then something slithered into view. It wasn't a toy. It wasn't anything that belonged in Andy's room. Its limbs were a twisted mass of scavenged toy parts, forks for claws, battery packs stitched into its back, wheels for joints. Its body clicked with every movement, a clockwork nightmare, stitched together by cruel, clever hands. Red eyes glowed from deep inside its chassis, scanning the room with mechanical hunger. Woody clutched Bo Peep's hand tighter. This wasn't an accident. This was an invasion. This was Robotnik. Location: bedpost. That night, later, when the house slept again, Woody climbed the blanket to the bedpost. Sonic sat perched there, watching Andy sleep, his head bowed low, his fur dulled under the moonlight. Woody didn't yell. He didn't accuse. He simply asked, why? Sonic was silent for a long time, then he spoke, voice small, almost human. The portals never closed properly behind him. His energy trail stretched across realities, a bright, burning beacon that Robotnik could always follow. No matter how far Sonic ran, danger always chased him. He had come here because he was tired. Tired of running, tired of losing. He just wanted one place to be safe. Woody watched Andy's sleeping form. Tiny fingers curled protectively around the blanket. He thought about what it meant to protect something smaller than yourself. To choose responsibility, even when it hurt. He placed a steady hand on Sonic's shoulder. It was time to stop running. Time to fight. Location, Andy's backyard. The sky tore open with a scream. Golden light poured over Andy's backyard as the portal yawned wide. Through it lumbered the egg mech, a massive beast of steel and hatred bristling with weapons and glowing with infernal red light. Its feet crushed flower beds, its arms smashed tree branches into splinters. The toys rallied. Woody led them with a sheriff's authority he hadn't tapped into in years. Slinky launched himself at the egg mech's legs, tangling wires in his coils. Bo Peep swung her staff like a true shepherd, whacking at mechanical joints. Rex charged fearfully but bravely, teeth bared. Ham hurled bits of himself to jam gears and sockets. They were small, they were fragile, but they fought anyway. Woody saw Sonic frozen at the center of it all. Blue fists clenched, hesitation written across every line of his body. Not because he was afraid, but because he was afraid to hope. Hope meant staying. Hope meant losing everything again. Woody caught his gaze and shouted, voice breaking, "You're not alone anymore." That broke the dam. Sonic raised the final golden ring, now cracked from the battle. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He crushed the ring in his hand. The portal flickered violently. The egg mech howled, mechanical limbs scrambling backward as the rift collapsed, dragging Robotnik's machine back into the void, inch by inch. Robotnik's furious roar echoed through the closing portal, and then silence. But the cost was clear even before the last echo faded. Sonic staggered, arcs of chaotic energy tearing through his body. His shoes sparked, his fur paled, his entire form flickered between moments like a dying star. He fell to the ground limp and still. Woody was the first to run to him. Bo Peep followed and dropping her staff to the grass. Sonic's blue fur was cold under Woody's trembling hands. Location, Andy's room. The next morning, Andy found Sonic lying limp beside the window. At first, he didn't know what to do. He just stood there, staring. Then, slowly, he knelt and scooped Sonic into his small arms, holding him gently. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He simply laid Sonic down beside Woody on the bed, pulling the covers up around them both. Andy's hand brushed Sonic's fur once, almost a goodbye. Almost. Then he left for breakfast, without a word. Sonic wasn't the fastest anymore, but he wasn't running anymore either. He was home. The room was quiet. The moonlight spilled across the carpet like a silver river. Woody stood at the windowsill, gazing out at the stars beyond Andy's house. Behind him, the toys had settled in for the night. Rex snored softly. Ham muttered in his sleep. Slinky curled protectively near the toy chest. And on the bed, Sonic slept soundlessly, a faint smirk still etched onto his face. They hadn't spoken much since the battle. Words weren't needed. Sonic had made his choice. He had chosen a family. Woody adjusted his hat, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders that he hadn't realized he'd been carrying. He whispered a soft thank you into the dark. From across the bed, Sonic's fingers twitched faintly. Not a sprint, not a race, just a reminder. Even heroes rest sometimes.
And that is going to be for What If Andy Got Sonic in Toy Story. Now, what did you think of this alternate timeline? What do you think would have happened if Andy ended up getting a Sonic the Hedgehog action figure rather than Buzz Lightyear? I think it would be a very interesting timeline, and also, even if Buzz Lightyear, since he's in the story, it would be completely interesting to see if Sonic was the fan favorite, if Sonic really, ended up becoming the fan favorite. What would that do to Woody, Buzz, and other toys within the
Toy Story universe. But that being said, a massive community shout out to E.M for requesting this insane banger in the live streams. And if you guys would like to see one of your requests done, I would highly recommend to check out the live streams. We do them on Monday, and we also try and do them on Fridays between 9 in the morning and also 10 in the morning. Sometimes we even try to do them later throughout the day, and that's why I would highly recommend, do make sure to subscribe, like, share, and turn those notifications on so you're all up to date when a spontaneous upload can happen. But again, massive shout out to the Patreon supporters and also the YouTube members only page. Your support really goes a long way in making more of these videos possible. So again, thank you guys so very much, and I will see you in the brand new episode. Take care and have a fantastic day. Peace out.